If you're not sleeping well, then you're not healing or recovering from injury either. Luckily, in today's video, I'm going to give you some tips to help you improve your sleep and get better from injury a lot faster. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow. I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be giving you 7 tips to help you sleep better and recover faster. Did you know that one night of bad sleep can decrease your injury recovery by up to 18%? So that's a massive rate of slowdown on healing just from one bad night of sleep. And many of the people I treat don't just have one night of bad sleep, they have consistently bad sleep throughout years and years of their lives. Thankfully, many of the things that cause bad sleep are well within our control. So we're going to be covering 7 things you can do to improve your sleep today. Let's dive into the tips now. One of the best ways to improve your sleep is to engage in a pre-bed stretch routine. Now, stretching has been shown to improve sleepiness and improve the time it takes for you to fall asleep, and also to help you get a deeper sleep as well. And to stretch just before bed is one of the best times to stretch. So here is a gentle pre-bed stretch routine that you can try at home. Obviously, only do these exercises if it's suitable for you to do so. Don't do them against the advice of your doctor, and don't do them if they're painful. But let me show you some of my favorite pre-bed stretches to do. So the first thing we're going to do is stretch the glutes. And to do this, we're going to straighten one leg and we're going to bring the other knee up towards us like this. And then this knee is just going to gently come across the body. Now, the one we're stretching is this side. So it's my right leg that's getting stretched. And we want to keep the hips down on the bed and just very gently pull that knee across the body towards the other side of the bed. Now, you should feel a bit of a stretch in your glutes or your hips on this side. You're going to hold for 30 seconds, as with all of these stretches, and then you can do the other side. So straighten that leg out like this, pull this leg up, bring this knee over, bring the hand across just to support, and then bring this across. Now, you might want to be quite careful with this if you've got known hip arthritis, just because people with hip arthritis don't always like the leg coming right across the body. But for many people, this feels really comfortable, and it's a lovely stretch in this region here just to sort of get the process started. So once you've done that, you can move on to the next thing, which is a hamstring stretch, which is a lovely thing to do when you're in bed. Don't do this if you've got sciatica, but for most other people, this exercise is safe to do. So for the hamstring stretch, you're going to keep both knees bent. You're going to bring one knee up towards you like this and hold just behind the thigh, and then slowly straighten the knee. Now, if you can see my foot here, my foot is remaining relaxed. I'm not trying to pull my toes up towards me, because if I do that, that turns from a stretch into a nervy kind of pain, and that's because I'm stretching the sciatic nerve, which we don't want to do. So keeping the foot relaxed allows us just to stretch the hamstring muscle. You can choose to pull the leg up higher towards you, or you can choose to try and get the knee straighter, whichever you prefer, and hold for 30 seconds when you feel just a 3 or 4 out of 10 intensity stretch at the back of the thigh. And then you can swap sides, bring this one up here, hold behind the thigh like this and extend, keep that foot relaxed, and just keep the leg supported, holding for 30 seconds. So once you've done those 2 stretches, you can move on to the next stretch. And the next thing we're going to try and do is just stretch out the shoulders and stretch out the thoracic spine. And to do that, we're just going to take both hands up over the head as high as we can, and then at the top we're just going to try and bring our hands back into the pillow as much as we can. And we should feel a bit of a stretch coming down the sides. I can feel a stretch both sides here, and we're just going to hold that position for 30 seconds if it's comfortable to do so. And you might want to do 2 or 3 repetitions of that. So you do one lot of 30 seconds, then you go back up, really holding that stretch there, and then bringing it back down. And then the last thing you can try and do, which is a nice one for the insides of the thighs, is bring your feet together like this and just allow both legs to drop down. If you can reach, you can just use your hands to support like this, and we should now feel a stretch on the insides of the thighs. So once you've got that gentle stretch there, you can just hold for 30 seconds and just relax into it. And after you've done a couple of repetitions of each of those on both sides, you're going to feel so much more relaxed, Keep breathing through the stretches because breathing also helps with relaxation. And you should find that you're dropping off easier and staying asleep for longer. One of the best ways you can improve your sleep is to ensure your room is pitch black. There's research to show that even gentle light in your bedroom is enough to disturb sleep. So if you can invest in a pair of blackout blinds, that's a great start. But I don't know about you, but if you've got blackout blinds, you can still see some light in your room. I know we definitely could at home, which is why I invested in a sleep mask. And a sleep mask has been the thing for me that's revolutionized my sleep. It's quite literally transformed the amount of deep sleep I get each night. And I'm not just saying this because of how I feel, I'm also saying this from the data I get from my Garmin tracker. So here you can see my sleep data from when I used to not wear a sleep mask, and now you can see my sleep data from the nights where I wear my sleep mask. You can see the difference between the amount of dark blue deep sleep I get from the first night to the second night with the mask. And that's in no small thanks to the people at Manta Sleep who came up with the Manta Mask. Now the Manta Mask is a fantastic bit of kit that I use every single night at home. Now I've used it nightly ever since the people at Manta Sleep sent it to me. And the reason I love this sleep mask so much is because it's truly blackout. It's the first mask I've used that actually achieves what it says it will. I've bought masks online that are cheap and they say they're blackout masks, they've got a rim around the eyes, but when you put them on you can still see a crack of light underneath your nose. And I'm quite fussy at night, even the tiniest bit of light does disturb my sleep, but when I put this on, it's truly blackout. It's a fantastic piece of kit and they're really comfy around the eyes. They've got a different technology around here, which means that it isn't hard on the nose, but it genuinely blocks out all of the light from the contours on your face when you put it on. It hasn't bothered me at night whatsoever. It makes me feel comfortable when I'm in bed and it doesn't allow me to overheat. There's technology in the material so that it doesn't make you too hot. And it's just quite frankly the best sleep mask I've ever used. So this is the Manta Pro Sleep Mask, which is perfect for people who just want to get that blackout effect at night. So I thoroughly recommend that. But for people who like to listen to podcasts or audiobooks or guided meditations at night, you could also get your hands on the Manta Sound. And this is like the Manta Pro, but instead of just having the blackout effect on the inside, on the outside, it also has a Bluetooth headset, which allows you to stream your favorite audiobooks or podcasts directly into your ears as you sleep without annoying headphones that bother you when you lie on your side. So the Manta Sound is more of an upmarket model. It's the next generation one, and I used this the other night to use a guided meditation. It was fantastic to have the combination of the sound coming in through my ears and the blackout in front. So I definitely recommend that. You can find a link to these products underneath this video. And if you want to get your hands on one of these, you can use a promo code that you'll find below to take 10% off. The next thing you can use that really helps you with sleep is a guided meditation before bedtime. Now, meditation has been shown to slow the heart rate, to calm down the more stressful brain waves in our brain, and also to help us relax better. And I personally like to meditate before bed as opposed to in the morning. Now, meditation is of personal preference, so some people like mindfulness, some people like other types of meditation, but what I'd recommend you do is find a nice, comfortable position, do it just before bedtime. You could pair it with the Manta Sound if you wanted to get that blackout effect as well, and then just spend 10, 15, 20 minutes before bed for a much improved sleep, and this is another thing that really helped me. The next tip I've got for you is to take a hot bath or hot shower before bed. Now, having a cooler body temperature is associated with better sleep. So you might be thinking, well, why would we have a hot bath or hot shower if we want to be cool? And the answer for this is it seems to not necessarily just be the coolness of the body, but the cooling down of the body that makes us tired. So this means if we start off with a hot body temperature and then we allow ourselves to cool off after a hot bath or shower, it's that cooling off period that triggers sleepiness, which should improve your sleep. It's the same reason that if you have a cold shower, you come out and you feel invigorated because you get a shot of adrenaline and your body has to work really hard to heat you back up, which means it's firing up, which means you're wide awake. So it should be a hot bath or a hot shower at night if you want to sleep better, because that natural cooling off process will improve your sleep. And the other way we can help this is by keeping a cool bedroom. Now, I don't know about you, but I find I sleep better even in the winter if I have the window just ajar. And that's because we get some fresh air in, and it also allows the temperature of the room to drop slightly, which is better for sleep as well. So keep a cool room, have a hot shower before bed, and then that cooling off period will help you to get to sleep faster. The next thing that's been shown to really improve sleep is to have a carbohydrate-rich meal later in the day. Now, many people say, oh, carbs aren't good for you, carbs make you gain weight, and that's actually not true. As long as they're included in a balanced diet, they're just as good as the other food sources. Now, carbohydrates do something interesting to the body. They actually help the brain release serotonin, and serotonin can help us feel more sleepy. So if you eat a carbohydrate-rich meal later in the day, that's actually been associated with a better depth and quality of sleep. So foods like rice, potatoes and pasta later in the day could help you get a better night's sleep. And the next tip I've got for you is to follow the 3-2-1 rule. And the 3-2-1 rule means no food less than 3 hours before bed, no fluids less than 2 hours before bed, and no screen time less than 1 hour before bed. Now, eating just before bed is definitely a bad idea. The food can sit on your stomach, it can increase your heart rate, it can increase your body temperature, and all of these things can be associated with a poorer quality of sleep. Not to mention you won't digest your food as well when you're lying down horizontal. So try and leave a gap between your evening meal and bedtime of at least 3 hours. Now, going on to fluids, we say don't have fluids less than 2 hours before bed. And the reason for this is that if you have too many fluids later in the day, you're going to be up at night because you need to pee. So I try and cap my water intake 2 hours before bed, because otherwise I will be up in the night and then my sleep will be affected. And then finally, screen time is a big one that keeps people awake at night time. If you are watching a screen just before bed, the blue light within your screen can simulate the sunrise, which basically confuses the brain and makes us feel like it's time to be awake. Which is why if you watch a film and then you try and go to sleep straight after, quite often you'll be laid wide awake in bed. So try and cap your screen time 1 hour before bed. And if you can't do that, maybe invest in a pair of blue light blocking glasses, which do take away some of the blue light strain. Now, the next tip I've got for you here is to get your pillow placement right. And I've set myself up perfectly as someone who might have sleep apnea. Now, sleep apnea is something that can really disturb sleep. It can cause snoring, but it also affects the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide changeover in the body as we sleep, which is not good for our health. So if you're someone who has sleep apnea, sleeping flat on your back is probably not going to be a good idea. You're far better off lifting yourself a little higher up, so you're propped up like this with your shoulders and your neck supported, and then having something underneath your knees just to break that natural bend in the knee, and that should help you to sit there more comfortably as well. Now, if you're someone who has pain in the body and you like to sleep on your back, this is also a good idea because it can take stress off the hips, the back, and the knees. And if you're a side sleeper, instead, sleeping with a pillow between the knees is often a really good idea. It just shifts the pelvis back to its neutral position, takes stress off the back, takes stress off the hips, and also stops the knees from rolling inwards as well. So having something like this between the knees is also a good idea if you're a side sleeper. So those are my 7 tips to help you sleep better and recover faster. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please do drop a comment below because I love to read your thoughts on the videos. I really appreciate your time in watching these. And if you want to get more from me, you can grab a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50 and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. It's got loads more tips and advice on how to improve your health and your sleep and your fitness and lots of other things like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time and I'll see you on the next video.